We started from Series 1. Now let's go to Series 2. This is Doctor Who Series 2 review. I'm sorry, I couldn't resist. Hey guys, it's Adam from the Dimensional Gamer Squad here, bringing you with Series 2 review of Doctor Who. What do I say about this series? Basically the same as Series 1. There are good episodes, there are bad episodes. Some episodes are noticeably bad. You know which ones they are. And, yeah, that's pretty much it with the introduction. I couldn't resist not using my sonic screwdriver. Unfortunately, it's only this one I have. So when I get to Series 5, unless I don't get the 11th Doctor sonic screwdriver, I'm stuck with this one. Yeah. Before I get into this, though, I do need to say I will not be reviewing any specials since they're technically not part of the series. And all the specials from this series onwards to, I believe, Series 11, plus the New Year's special that was on recently, well, 6 months ago, they will be in its own video. But this one's just with the 13 regular episodes of Series 2. Some are bad, some are good, some are fantastic. But, with that all said, Allons-y. We're going to start off Series 2 going to New Earth. The planet, and that's the name of the episode. New Earth. This is a 6 out of 10. Easily a 6 out of 10. It's not a great episode. It was a strange episode with so many problems, like, it was a bit weird and a bit random. Applegrass. Cassandra's return, I'm not a big fan of. The Infected, I'm a bit iffy about. And there's so much stuff I don't like about it. The cat nurses are weird. Why do they have to be cats? It's just weird. The villains in New Earth are the cat nurses, or as they like to be called, the Sisterhood, and Lady Cassandra O'Brien. Delta 17. Yes, I wanted to say the name again. So yeah, if you hear a little buzzing in the background, it might be a bit faint. That's because there's a fly in my room, and I can't be bothered to get rid of it right now. Okay. And of course, it decides to come over here. Yay. Just go over to the Bulbasaur, okay? I'll deal with you later. Next episode is Tooth and Claw. 7 out of 10. It's much better than New Earth. And it's good, but it's not great. But it's a good episode so far for a beast or mythological creature which comes from the real world legends about a werewolf, a man that turns into a beast. And I love that it was in Scotland because it actually involved the Doctor David Tennant using his proper accent instead of having to go with English. Nope, now he is actually Scottish, so he gets to speak in his Scottish accent for that, which is good. And there's Queen Victoria, and for most of it, I just couldn't stop laughing at the bet that the Doctor and Rose had. Like, I bet you 10 quid that I can make her say, I am not amused. And Rose won the bet, so yay. That's all I can say about it. The villains in the Tooth and Claw are the monks and the werewolf. I do need to say though, the fight at the start with the monks was a bit too, not positive thing, but it's not exactly the kind of, I can't think of the word. It's not exactly the kind of fight you would expect to see in Doctor Who. It's more along the lines that you see in a different genre of film or episode or TV series. Anyways, stop talking about Tooth and Claw. Let's go on to, debatably, one of the best episodes of Series 2. School Reunion. This is an 8 out of 10. Easily an 8 out of 10. It's a great episode. I love the return of Sarah Jane Smith and K9. The Krillitanes were interesting. The actor that played Brother Lasser or Mr. Finch did an amazing job. And I know they're just giant bats, and I say this a lot when it comes to my beast reviews. I don't like giant animals for design. But I generally like the Krillitanes. I don't know why. I think it has to do with the fact they're kind of a unique villain, and they just left so many chapters unread in the book that they started. And I like to learn more about them. Unfortunately, after 9 more seasons of Doctor Who, we have not seen them. Not even in the brief glimpse. They were going to be seen briefly in Series 4 with the Shadow Proclamation as a little glimpse or something. But no, nothing. Thanks. Let's move on to another great episode of Series 2. And it's kind of a bit on the scales of love or hate for so many fans. I'm on the scale where I love this episode. And that is The Girl in the Fireplace. This is an 8 out of 10 easily. I like the connection between the ship being called SS Madame de Pompadour and, well, Madame de Pompadour, which answers the question, why was this ship focused on this one woman's life? All of it was great, very well put together, and I like the little bit of humour where I believe his name is Arthur, the horse, was just found randomly on the ship. The Doctor found him, and it's like, I'm keeping the horse. And then Mickey just saw the horse and like, what is a horse doing on a spaceship? And then the Doctor says, Mickey, what's pre-revolutionary I can't speak. What's this pre-revolutionary France doing on a spaceship? Get a little perspective. And I was like, yeah, thank you, Doctor. Oh, God. Yeah. I love this episode so much. Just as much as I love the last episode. And I forgot to say, the villains in School Reunion are Brother Larsa and the Krillitanes. The villains in Girl in the Fireplace are the Clockwork Droids. Clockwork robots, clockwork droids, whatever you want to say, they are clockwork. And also, the Girl in the Fireplace have pretty much one of the best insults ever. It's like, you're so thick! You're Mr. Fickty Fickman from Ficktown, Fickania. And so's your dad. It's just, oh my gosh, there's so many things I like about this episode. And the fact that the Doctor, Rose and Mickey actually don't know the connection between the ship and the Madame de Pompadour just adds like, oh, so they don't know, but we know. Wow. So we know something that they don't, and they would never find out. So that's it. Next is not as good of an episode, but it's still a great episode regardless. And that is Rise of the Cybermen, or Resurrection of them. The episode is called Rise of the Cybermen, but it's just bringing them back to life. This episode's a 7 out of 10 for me. Easily just a okay episode. It's a good start to the two-parter. Not great, but the concept is cool. I actually like the new version of the Cybermen that we see. And the fact that it's in a parallel Earth where the things are slightly different. So, for example, Zeppelins are in the sky, Rose's dad is still alive, and there's a president of the United Kingdom. Not anymore, though. Well, there is, but I wouldn't trust the new president. So, yeah, that still really good, but there's something missing. It's just not great as the last 2 episodes were. It's better than Tooth and Claw, but I wouldn't say it's better than School Reunion on the Girl in the Fireplace. But now we're moving on to the next episode, being the finale of this two-parter, The Age of Steel. This was a 7 out of 10. It's an okay ending to this, but it felt like it was lacking something, but I can't explain what it was. I said this in the last episode review of this. Yeah, it's still lacking that one key aspect that I feel like I'm missing. And I feel like it's emotion in the villains. But these villains are actually created to not have emotion, because they have an emotional inhibitor. That's all I can really explain. I like this episode. I like that it actually showed Mickey in the spotlight. And I just like the little scene before the Cybermen were defeated, just going like, just Binary 9, just a little hint that the Doctor gives Mickey through a camera onto the Zeppelin, saying how to defeat the Cybermen, and I found it really cool. There we are. The main villain, John Lumic, or the Cyber Controller, I think was a bit lackluster and very monotone with how he sounded. I think that was the idea though, but I don't like it. So the villains in this one, in these episodes, are the Cybermen and John Lumic, otherwise known as the Cyber Controller. They're all dead now. Okay. Next we move on from a good episode, one that's mediocre, to a bad episode. The Idiot's Lantern. What do I say about this one? It's really bad, and I'm seeing a fly around in front of my camera now, so... Oh, God. 5 out of 10. Easily a 5 out of 10. It's a weird episode. I don't like it. The villain is terrible. It had a nice story with the Queen's coronation, but the execution of it was dreadful. The main villain, the Wire, was... I think the description the Doctor gave to the Wire, of like just a sat down eating his or her victims like a overfed pig. And I was like, yeah, that's a good description of the Wire, because that's how I feel about it. I hate it. It's just basically saying to the people that's watching, hey, don't watch TV. I was like, okay, but you need views to carry on your series. Yes, you do. But you're saying don't watch it. Okay, I won't. Okay, I won't. End of recording. Bye. It's just bad. Tommy was a great character in it. I generally liked that character. I think there's something else I liked about it, which I think you could agree with me here, with the Doctor's acting when it came... Well, David Tennant's acting when it came to the Doctor discovering that Rose had her face taken from her and was just left on the streets. It was just... Oh, I can't focus that fly. It was just amazing. I really loved that accent, because it's like, there is no force on this earth that's going to stop me now. And I was like, okay, I don't want to mess with this guy. I really did like that. I really did. The villains in the Idiot's Lantern is the Wire, which is actually my least favourite one-time villain, and Mr. Magpie, which is more like a puppet to the Wire, because he was just told what to do by the Wire, and he got killed after doing what she wanted him to do. So that's just really bad. Next we move on to a rather good two-parter, probably slightly better than the last two-parter, and that's The Impossible Planet. This is a 7 out of 10. It's a good episode. The Ood look creepy, but it sets up the next episode very well with them just being possessed and cornering our heroes. There's a fly right in front of me and there's a fly behind me. There's more than one fly in my room. Wow. Okay. Yeah, it sets up the good episode. It sets up the next episode really well, with just kind of vaguely showing the Beast, but it's more focused on the voice of the Beast, with possessing Toby and controlling the Ood as well, which I like as well, because for some reason I like my possessions. So yeah. And I think there's there's a video on this channel coming up soon, which is also going to be talking about possessions. But one of you, because you haven't read this specific book, I'm not going to say which one, because spoilers, you can't watch it. You know who I'm talking about. You know I'm talking to you. But basically, yeah, I like the possessions in this. It was a bit strange, But I think I like this strange. Unlike New Earth and the Idiot Lantern, this one I'm actually okay with the strangeness of it. Now we move on to the Satan Pit. 8 out of 10. It's a nice wrap up, creepy atmosphere, and the tension in the vent. It's a creepy atmosphere overall. The tension that is set up in the vents with you chasing, I can't remember all their names, but there's 4 people there's 3 people plus Rose in the vents was just amazing. I really did like that. It was actually one of my favourite scenes in that. And another one has to be where the Beast's voice actually introduced himself to everyone on that ship. Well, on that planet. I believe his name was Croctor, the planet. And it was just like, well, there's a devil in every religion. Which one are you? Christianity, Judaism, Buddhism? And the Beast just straight up says, all of them. And I was like, oh my god, even atheism? I had to say that. So this was supposed to be psychologically more of a scary villain than physically, or from what they do, unlike the Weeping Angels and Daleks, because they focus on what they do and their physical aspects. The Beast just goes on with psychological terror. Which is what I which is what I like the most about this Beast. It goes for something different about scaring people. And, well, it has a rocket, so... And I think the ending, where it just does a kind of like a funeral kind of thing, paying their respects to the people, to Toby Jefferson, I think his name was, and the Oods, all 50 of them, from when they died, just when they fly off into the distance back to planet Earth. I like that a lot, I really did. Oh man, there's so much I liked about this episode, and I think it deserves this 8 out of 10. Now we move on. Oh god. An episode which had a unique concept, but the execution was dreadful. And this was Love and Monsters. I need to say though, this, with a lot of fans, is the worst episode of all of the new Doctor Who series. And I have to agree, maybe. But I need to say, I don't hate any episodes. There are some which I don't like, there's some which I kind of like, there's some I'm neutral with, there's some I'm okay with, some I'm not okay with, some I'm met with. That fly's just flying right in front of me now. And some I adore. This is one that I don't really like. 4 out of 10. Damn it, I forgot to say the villains in the last episodes of this series. They are the Ood, Toby Zed, and the Beast. Obviously. And I Love and Monsters. Well, okay, here's just my description of this episode, and I think this just sums up what I want to say about this in one sentence. What the hell is this episode? It was poorly constructed, the villain was bad, idea was nice about the story, but there was no development in any of the characters or the love relationship between Elton and Ursula. What the hell? I liked that it was kind of focusing on the civilians that are trying to find the Doctor. And it kind of does people's experiences with monsters of their own, along going into their personal life. Hence, the Zorbaloff with Elton's crush, I'll say? I don't know. There was really no development between Elton and Ursula's relationship. But for some reason, there was more development in Elton's and Jackie's relationship. And Elton doesn't even like Jackie that way. So why? What the hell? I think one of the few remaining aspects to this episode has to be the that Mr. Blue Sky was playing at random points in that episode, which I kind of liked because they were just putting at okay times, which is good, but it's just not really great. It just doesn't redeem this episode enough. What else can I say? Yeah, Team Linda united. As we see, they're best friends. All of them are best friends. But when one's held back, instead of waiting at the exit for her or him, they just walk off. It's like, what the hell? What the hell? And oh my god. Peter Kay, yes, the comedian, played Victor Kennedy, or the Absorbaloff. What the hell? The villain was the Absorbaloff. I'm not going to say the Hoix was also the villain as well, because he only appeared for like 2 minutes. That reminds me, the thing at the beginning with the Dr. Rose and the Hoix just running from one doorway to the other across a hall right in front of Elton. That was so cartoony. What the hell? This is a sci-fi show, not a cartoon show. Oh my god, I could go on so long about why this is not a great episode, but I need to actually get the other 3 episodes done along with a ranking. So the villains in this episode, well, the villain was Victor Kennedy, or the Absorbaloff, which originated from the twin planet Rex Coracophalopatorius, otherwise known as Clom. Yeah. I was like a bit questionable about it as well, but okay. And now we move on to another bad episode. Fear Her. Another 4 out of 10. Yay. This was just a bad episode. It was just as bad as the previous episode. The idea was good about it being around the Olympics, which I don't think was necessary, but okay, yeah, there was a reason why they went to this time. I would have liked to see probably more origins about the Isolis, there we are. Or maybe a bit of a, like when the Doctor was drawn and is now in that paper world. I would have wanted to see probably a mention, like probably with the Doctor just looking around in this void of paperness and just seeing all the other missing people or kids or children or cats. I just wanted to see something like that. It had so many interesting things open for it, and it just got ruined. Oh god, that was a bad episode, just as bad as Love and Monsters. The lack of detail for this episode hindered it a lot. Probably the lack of origins for the Isolis, as I said, and the fact that we didn't get to see into that paper world. That's really bad. There was some good aspects, well, some funny aspects, which was where the Doctor at the beginning just parked his TARDIS, opened the door, it's like, just need to turn it 90 degrees. Does that? There we are. And then there's something else, which was I think it has to be something else that's really funny, about when Rose was trying to find the pod, and he was like, okay, let's dig into the road to try and find the pod. Even though there are many potholes on that street, she found the one pothole which had that pod in, which, yeah, I can understand. It's like, where were you about a week ago? I was filling up this pothole for the first time. Okay, so, if I could quote this guy, Rose has just went to a council van, took a council axe from a council van, and is now digging at a council road. He is going to report her to the council. Rose finds the pod finally, unfortunately, it's not a cancel pod, by the way. I really had to say that. It's really funny. So yeah, and there had to be. There's one more scene about this episode which I really did like. And some people find it cheesy or kind of bad, but I liked that part. I liked this part a lot. And it was when the Doctor came back out of this paper world along with everyone else, and instead of showing up to greet Rose, he took the Olympic torch when the runner collapsed and just finished off what he would have done. Which was, okay, I like it a lot, I really do, and I just couldn't stop grinning about this. I really liked that. But there's one part about it which I didn't like, and that was the fact that, if he did it then, I know it's sci-fi, so fiction, but if he did something that's in the future that is going to be televised all around the UK, probably the world, shouldn't we be seeing him, like proper David Tennant, running with the torch to light it up in his uniform? Because that would have made so much sense. But unfortunately, it didn't happen. So really, that made no sense. Because it's just like us saying, in 2011 or 2012, everyone's memory got wiped off the Doctor. No one remembers that he did that. And it's still a fixed point in time now. He just taken over for something and did something so significant that it is now a new fixed point in time. And if it is a fixed point in time, it needs to appear in the real world as well. Oh God. The villains. Okay, moving on. The villains in Fear Her were I tend to say the Isolist and Chloe's father, which was a drawing which we only saw just drawings of. I would have wanted to see probably a proper version of him out into the human world, but fortunately, no. I could go on for ages about these two episodes, why they're not great, but like I said, they're just ones I'm not big fans of. But I would watch again. I hate to say this, I would watch again. I'll watch any episode again. Next is Army of Ghosts. Are you sat down? I just need to explain to you one thing. God. Where do I begin to talk about this one? It was fantastic. It was amazing. 8 out of 10. It was a really good episode. Great development, and it was very well put together. And 2 different villains in one. It just makes you wonder what will happen in the next episode. With the Cybermen and the Daleks. Well, not really the Daleks, but the Cult of Skaro being here. With the Genesis Arc, all 4 of the Daleks that are going to be significant in future seasons are here. Dalek Sec, Dalek They, Dalek Jas, and Dalek Khan. All here in one room with Rose, Mickey, and that one guy which no one cares about. Whilst the Cybermen just followed the Daleks through the void into this world, into our world, just taking over the whole world slowly but surely. And as the Doctor said very well, it's not an invasion, it's a victory. Because 5 million Cybermen all around the world. Yes, it's not many compared to how many humans are on the Earth, but still, that's still a lot. Plus, they're made of steel, bulletproof, nothing to lose. Fire away, fire away. I'm so sorry about that. I think it's clear that with 5 million Cybermen, 4 Daleks, that's just around the same amount of insaneness as it is. Like, just setting up the next episode brilliantly and kind of foretells what the Beast said to Rose, like, the lost girl that's going to die in battle so very soon. And this is the battle in Doomsday. 9 out of 10 for this episode. Yes, again, the finale has the highest score. It's a great finale. Introduces the Cult of Skaro, because it only appeared frequently in Army of Ghosts, and sets up the next Christmas special so well. Unfortunately, I won't do a review on it next week. I loved it. Sad send-off for Rose, and I think I liked the song that, or the music that was playing in the background that was happening was amazing. I generally like that soundtrack, Doomsday soundtrack, I believe it was. There was so much about it which I liked. The fight was amazing with the Daleks versus Cybermen, and the fact that the Doctor fact the Doctor nearly lost Rose forever was so sad. But luckily Pete saved her, and now she's trapped in the parallel world. And that's still really sad. And then the last encounter, I'm gonna say this wrong, is on Dalek Wundstranden, or Bad Wolf Bay, which is kind of a nice wrap up to the Bad Wolf arc in series 1. Was just really good. Pretty much the icing on a perfect cake, a Victoria sponge, let's say. And that, there's so much I loved about this episode. And I like I like when Yvonne Hartman got upgraded, the Ono Torchwood. She remembered what she did was wrong, and she actually helped the Doctor by killing off some Cybermen. Unfortunately, though, I'm going to need to assume that her, along with some other Cybermen, which got upgraded in our universe that didn't go through the void, got sucked into the void. That was the one problem I have with it, because the Cybermen that got created on this Earth shouldn't be seeped in void stuff, unlike the ones that are ghosts, that were the ghosts. So I don't really like that, because you need to think of because surely the Doctor should have known about this. Okay, moving on. I like the little humour it had with Jackie. Just either running up all the flights of stairs, go like, don't run up all the stairs, trust me, I tried them all. And then it has to go with her finally meeting Parallel Pete for the first time. Go like, I got rich. How rich? I really liked that. The villains in this episode were the Cybermen and the Cult of Skaro. The total for all of these episodes of Series 2 was 88 out of 130. The same as the last episode. As the last series. So that's really good. Same as the last season, as I said. And just as good. Excellent series with obvious problems, but makes up for that with great episodes. Oh my gosh! Let's get to the rankings. Man, what was that voice break there? Let's get to the rankings. The worst episode of Series 2. No rewards to any of you if you guess what it is obviously Lover Monsters. Like I said, I don't hate this episode, I just don't like it. The villain was bad. I know it's created by a kid, but why would you listen to a kid with a suggestion? And then there's Fear Her that's next. That's 12th place. Barely. Just barely better than Lover Monsters. There's so many problems in that one as well. The 11th place is The Idiot's Lantern. This was my least favourite episode of this series. But due to the lack of plot holes that this one had, that this one didn't have, whereas the others that I said before did, I was like, maybe I should leave it there then. 10th place is New Earth. I don't like this episode. For some reason, I hate this episode. I like the idea. It was alright. Cassandra's return. Well, I hate Cassandra. It's a nice ending to Cassandra. That's all I need to say. it's just not amazing. I hate the cat nurses. Novice Haim is nice. And we got to see the face of Bo again. And we find out that we're only going to see him one more time. And that's next week that I'm going to be talking about that. Ninth place is Tooth and Claw. Now, we're done with the episodes that I don't really like. Now we're on to the episodes which I'm meh about. The Tooth and Claw is a fairly mediocre episode. Shows that someone who is a follower of the Queen betrayed her, but more than makes up with it for sacrificing himself. And I need to... This is going a bit into my personal life here. This goes along with something which I hate being called. Because the Doctor called, I can't remember his name, a good man when he said he's going to sacrifice himself to save the Queen and all that. And that just made me thinking after I watched this episode for the first time. People have called me a good man so many times after I've done something good to them. For example, doing what someone says, or Reese has actually called me a good man once before, as in like continuing the channel. But I generally hate being called a good man because I don't think I deserve to be called that, because I didn't really do anything that involves protecting someone as in like really important value. It's just doing what someone asked me to do. That is something which I really do not like. And if you lot are thinking that's a bit weird, Adam, I don't care. I find it weird as well. But I'm not going to complain to myself. And when I told one of my friends at college this, he was like, that is deep. Don't talk to me again. I was like, okay. 8th place is Rise of the Cybermen. It's a good opening. It's just lacking something. I don't know what it's lacking, but there's something about it. This episode was just lacking something. I think it's through the monotone of John Lumick, which I didn't like. And the fact that nothing of significant importance happened apart from the Cybermen gate crashing a party. Or Jackie's 39th. Or 40th. But whatever. 7th place is The Impossible Planet. Yes, again, another great opener to a two-parter. Lots more questions were answered compared to Rise of the Cybermen. But there's still something missing! There's something missing! I don't know what it is! I don't know! I don't know! I'm gonna die. I liked the characters. I liked them a lot. More than Rise of the Cybermen. But I think it has to do with the fact it's more enclosed than the Parallel Earth, where in that Parallel Earth they had all of London to run around. In the Impossible Planet they just have a base to run around and underground base. 6th place is The Age of Steel. I like the revolution of the Cybermen, and it's an excellent finale to the comeback of them. Then they all die. What the hell? What the hell? But that's only in the one base that's in London. But, there's something about it. I don't like it. I like it. Still, these are still the episodes I'm meh about. It's a great ending, and it's a great redemption arc for Mickey. Now, 5th place, The Satan Pit. Like I said, I love the Beast giving a psychological fear in everyone. Everyone that watches this episode is just supposed to give them psychological fear instead of like physical fear from what these villains do. It's just amazing. I like this episode a lot. 4th place, we're now down to the top 4, which are all episodes which I adore. I love these episodes. 4th place was going to be... Shall I stick down to what I wrote down here, or shall I go my last minute change? Let's stick to the ones I wrote down here, because I can't really explain why this one would come first. So, 4th place is The Girl in the Fireplace. Some people are going to say, this was by far the best episode of Series 2. Why is it here? I was like, it's on the high end of the spectrum, okay? Be happy. I really like this episode a lot, like so many other people. I like the connection I had with the ship and Madame de Pompadour. So many people liked that. And the fact that the Clockwork Droids are actually kind of good villains as well. Just kind of like, they were told by their crew to fix the ship with whatever material they could find. And then when the Doctor figured that out, we did not have the parts. They're just like, oh, they killed the crew. Yeah, they did. And that's a bit grim, but they did what they were told to do, and they're just doing their job. Oh, that's great. Third place is Army of Ghosts. This really shows the craziness of Jackie. Just go like, hey, look, it's Grandad. And it also shows... Thank you, Fly, for just interrupting me. Yeah. I am going to get rid of this fly as soon as this recording's done. Army of Ghosts. It showed a ghost being in a talk show and in... I think it's EastEnders? But I don't watch my soaps. It's one with the Queen Vic with the character, which I'm pretty sure is dead now, Peggy. If I remember from my brief encounters with these soaps, I think Peggy died of a drug overdose. But this is not about Emmerdale. This is about Doctor Who. Not Emmerdale, EastEnders. This is about Doctor Who. Army of Ghosts. I liked this episode a lot. I liked the introduction to Torchwood. And there's so much I like about it, but I can't explain it because there's so much I don't like. There's some bits I don't like about it either. Moving on! Second place. School Reunion. Debatably one of the best episodes in the entire Doctor Who franchise, alongside Girl in the Fireplace and Doomsday. And Army of Ghosts as well, but that's my opinion. School Reunion. I really did like the return of Sarah Jane and K9. Yes, I didn't watch the original series, but when I watched this episode with my dad, I saw the light in his face just shine when he saw Sarah Jane and K9. I was like, oh my god, do you actually recognise these people? Or this person and that thing. Unfortunately, he doesn't really like this episode as much as I do, but I don't care. I still like this episode. And it actually starts off the Sarah Jane Adventures, which is also a great series, which I would not be doing a review on. I'm sorry, I'm not doing a review on Sarah Jane Adventures. School Reunion. I like the Krillitanes a lot. Brother Larsa, well, the actor that played him, was amazing. And yeah, there's some bits which I don't understand about it, but I think it was more focused on the argument or the rivalry that Sarah Jane and Rose had with old versus new companions. Sarah Jane says, I saw things you wouldn't believe. Rose, try me. Sarah Jane, mummies. I met ghosts. Robots. Love lots of robots. Slovene in Downing Street. Daleks. Met the Emperor. Anti-matter monsters. Gas mask zombies. Real living dinosaurs. Real living werewolves. The Loch Ness Monster. I had no reason why I did that. I just really like that scene a lot, and it was amazing. Along with the fact that the Krillitane were actually trying to become gods by having kids crack the stasis paradigm from the from the oil, or the Krillitane oil, that's inside the chips, which increases their genetic enhancement with their brains. I have no idea what I just said, but it made sense to me. So, anyway, let's go on to number one. I'm sure you know what it is. Obviously, it's the finale. Doomsday is the best episode of this series. It's an amazing finale, a great send-off to Rose, and it introduces, at the end of it, probably one of the best companions ever, being Donna Noble. We'll get to her in Series 4. And briefly in the specials. But as for that, Doomsday was a great episode. Really, nothing much wrong with it, apart from the obvious on this Earth upgraded Cybermen somehow being sucked into the void despite not going through the void. But anyway, that is done. That's all for this ranking. This lasted 15 minutes longer than the last one. Man, these reviews are getting longer. Okay, let's try and finish it around the 45 mark. So, anyway, that's all for this time. If you liked what you saw, leave a like, leave a comment. Don't forget to subscribe. Stay tuned for the next episode. Stay tuned for the next video that'll be up on this channel. Don't know what it'll be. Don't ask me. And I'll see you next time.